blame her not, but blame yourself. And that's what they said the acts of the devil is, the trick he will pull. All he did was call, and you came. So blame him not, but blame yourself. And on that note, bruh, we'll talk. You passport brothers, y'all go out there, man. Don't get locked down with these chicks out here, bruh. They 20 years ago it might have been cool. Even 10 years ago it might have been cool to lock a chick down, traditionally. But now, no. Too much bullshit going on. Too much fugazi shit going on. You can't believe shit. And American women should have taught you that shit. So why you gonna go over there and play games? Hell, if they feel like our American women we got tolerance for this over here, what they gonna give you, oh man, and you don't know the language? Man, come on. Come on. They read by the same playbook too. They gonna roast your ass. Yep. So don't do it. And I know it looks good, but sometimes you just go out there and have your fun, bro. And soon they talk about, well, you should marry me. You're like, yeah, but no. Also, too, brothers, in my story, I was started off by saying one of my homeboys asked me if I was to ever do it again, what would I do different knowing what I know now? And the only thing I would do different if I ever consider marrying someone overseas or finding a wife overseas, the thing that person will have, that wife, my wife will have to have, or that person I want to marry have to have, is a visa. She already got to have her visa. That's the only way I consider doing that shit, because I wouldn't do that shit never again. And I wouldn't even wish nobody to go through that process again, because it's a long delayed process and too much can go wrong within that process. And now that everybody's trying to get to America and go through this immigration process, you got the Ukraine people coming over here. You got all these other people coming over here from South America or from Mexico. These undocumented people are here going through the whole immigration system and the embassy system. So any little thing that can break out or become a threat to any embassy over there in whatever country you're marrying somebody from, the embassy shut down. So it's always a delay, always a delay, always a back. You always get backlogged in your case. No matter if you got an attorney or not, you always get backlogged. Nothing can help you. You just got to go through that process, however long it takes. And also, too, keep in mind that you got to Google the country that you want to look for a spouse in and make sure that country is not on a blacklist, because the immigration or the embassy that gives out, or the National Visa Center, they got a blacklist. Like, I think Nigerians like type 5, and then you got different other like Middle Eastern countries that is on that list, where certain places, man, they don't give out visas. They give them out, but it's a long ass process, and it's like a blackout. They call it a blackout list, and I think Trump made that blackout list when he was in office, where they now handing out visas to a lot of these countries, like not off the rip. It'd take like 10 years to go through that process, hopefully that you would just give up. And you also got to check that out. There's a lot of stuff about the visa process the National Visa Center, that you got to look into before considering marrying someone in another country. And it's drug out, man. It's real long. And like I said, I met people that's been going through this process for 6 years. So you got to consider a lot of that stuff. A lot of people, like a lot of Ethiopian people, they marry their cousins on the low to come over here, and sometimes immigration get them caught up. It's low key. They don't talk about it. It happens. A lot of people from different countries do that, circumvent the system, try to get their relatives over here. And some of them, Ethiopia have a lottery that some people apply for to get a visa to get access to America. It's a lifetime to get it, but some people lucky enough to get it sometime. They apply and they come over here. It's like a lottery system they have over there as well. Some come over here by school. And if they don't want to go back to Ethiopia, they just end up going to Canada and become a refugee. A lot of them do that. You go to Canada, you don't see nothing but Ethiopia. You see most of everybody up there from other countries that's in Canada that never wanted to go back home. So there's a lot of different ways people are over here, and but it ain't always by African American men, African American women that marries people into the country. It's other little ways people come in here. And you got some people who if they really got the plug, man, they come in here through airlines, smuggled, if they got paper like that. It happens. So don't be fooled. A lot of people, when you see a lot of people out here, they're not going to get married to anyone in America. Sometimes they ain't got paperwork. Ain't got paperwork to leave and go nowhere. A lot of them, you meet somebody from another country, they don't want to fly nowhere, they don't want to go nowhere. A lot of them, they don't have proper documentation. They ain't gonna tell you that, you know. Yeah, it happens. But fellas, you guys got to understand that this process of just going to these places, these brothers out here, they traveling around, these passport brothers. You when you go in and you traveling around, be careful. Don't go and videotape any countries, like some of these young cats around here YouTubing certain things that goes on in these countries like that. These people are watching that. The police, the law enforcement, they are watching that. So a lot of times you gotta be careful when you go to these countries. Watch what you videotaping, because they can get you jammed up out there. Because sometimes it's just exploitation. You can't exploit no country like that. A lot of times you won't even see a lot of shit in Ethiopia. I mean, Ethiopia is just, they got some low end areas out there too, bro. Woo! You won't get caught dead walking down the street around in certain areas, but you're not going to see that for the most part. Nobody's not going to put that on YouTube for the. I mean, it's just a lot of impoverished countries, they have a lot of low end areas. Even in the United States, we got ghettos. Yeah, so just keep in mind, there's a lot that you have to know. And I just want to come back and just finish that story there about someone that already had a visa in order for me to do that again. That's, in this one time in life, and I learned my lesson, and I'm just here to be able to at least go on record, give brothers blueprints on how, and if you're going to go through the process, know what you're getting yourself into. Hey, ask me any questions, or hit me in a comment, whatever like that, anything you want to know. And keep in mind, everybody's case is different. I went extremely through a straight path case. I didn't have anything that stood out, anything like that. So I went directly through the system. It took a long time, but and then when start seeing bullshit, I'm like, oh, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to be able to sometimes you got to cut bait. You can't worry about the time, the energy, because I'd rather for you to fuck up now before you get out here than get out here and fuck up. If you're going to fuck up, now it's time to do it. Before you cross the line in this border to get over here, and then you fuck up on my watch. Now it's on me. And like I said, when they get over here, any woman that comes from another country, you financially responsible for that person, even if they're not with you no more. If she figure out a way to get away from you, or you do something, y'all break up, and she do something, whatever the case may be, y'all don't know, you still financially responsible for this woman for a certain amount of years. And I think it's like 5 or 10 years. Google it. I'm not for sure. And again, you got to be able to show sponsorship. It's not that easy. Immigration lock that shit down. They tighten up on a lot of shit. So that's what I'm here for. Because everybody else can talk about a country, how beautiful it is, where you go, and how beautiful the women is. But if you ever select one or try to choose to marry someone out there, there's a lot of other shit that comes with it. And then you got to look at that person and say, damn, are you worth this? Really, beside the bullshit, what else is it about you that, because looks fade. What else I'm getting? Looks fade. Now what? So that's what you got to start. That's how you got to think when you really get serious about something, to make a choice like that. So that's what I'm here for. All right. So I'm just here to tell you everything God love, man. Y'all be cool. Hit me up if you like, need some information, and we can go from there. But until now, if you ever thought about doing that shit, man, you might as well say yeah, but no.